Have you ever had a conversation with someone, walked away, and suddenly felt completely drained? Like a battery that just hit 0% for no apparent reason? Nothing dramatic happened, no arguments, just a normal chat. Yet somehow you feel exhausted. Now, compare that to spending time with certain people who, even after hours of talking, leave you feeling refreshed and energized, like they plugged you into an infinite power source. But why is there such a difference? Why do some people drain your energy while others lift you up? This question fascinated one of the greatest minds in psychology, Carl Jung. He wanted to understand how energy flows in human interactions. And today, we're diving deep into Jung's perspective on this phenomenon, specifically 6 types of people who might be secretly sucking the life out of you. Recognizing these people is crucial for protecting your mental and emotional well-being, maintaining your daily energy levels, and improving your relationships. So, let's jump right in and meet our first energy drainer. 1. The victim. These individuals have embraced helplessness as their identity. Everything bad in their life is someone else's fault, and they never take responsibility. They constantly complain about their problems, but reject any real solutions, because their goal isn't change, it's sympathy. How do they drain you? By trapping you in an endless cycle of support and rescue missions, without making any effort to improve their situation. Jung explains that victim personalities project their inner power onto others. Ironically, they often resent those who seem stronger than them. 2. The narcissist. Perhaps the most dangerous energy vampire, narcissists constantly crave attention, validation, and emotional labor from others while giving nothing in return. Conversations with them revolve solely around themselves, and over time, the relationship becomes one-sided and exhausting. At first, they may seem charming, but eventually, you realize that your only role is to fulfill their emotional needs. Jung noted that narcissists can't connect with their inner selves, so they use others as mirrors to reflect an exaggerated self-image. This endless search for external validation sucks the energy out of everyone around them. 3. The martyr. These people are always making sacrifices, but not out of genuine kindness. Their goal is to make others feel guilty and obligated. Their unspoken rule? After everything I've done for you? How do they drain you? By creating an emotional debt that can never be repaid, leaving you feeling pressured and exhausted. According to Jung, these individuals suppress their own desires and project them onto others, resenting people who express needs they themselves have repressed. 4. The control freak. These are the masterminds of psychological games. They manipulate through guilt, fear, or obligation, making you feel like you always owe them something, even when you don't. How do they drain you? By keeping you mentally exhausted. Instead of having clear, open relationships, they force you to constantly guess their hidden expectations and motives. Jung explains that control freaks deny their own vulnerabilities and project them onto others. To escape their suppressed fears, they try to dominate those around them. 5. The drama magnet. These individuals thrive on chaos and emotional turmoil. They exaggerate problems, create unnecessary conflicts, and always seem to have some crisis happening in their life. They pull you into their never-ending emotional roller coaster. How do they drain you? By overwhelming you with their problems and constantly seeking your emotional investment in their dramatic situations. Jung believed that people who crave drama often avoid addressing their inner turmoil, instead projecting it onto others. 6. The passive-aggressive manipulator. These people never express their frustrations directly, but instead resort to subtle jabs, sarcasm, or backhanded compliments. They withhold approval, make you second-guess yourself, and use guilt as a weapon. How do they drain you? by making every interaction emotionally exhausting, forcing you to decode their true feelings and intentions. Jung pointed out that passive-aggressive behavior often stems from unresolved anger that the person is unwilling to confront. But wait, why do we attract these people? Ever wondered why energy drainers keep appearing in your life? Or why you seem to attract specific types, like control freaks, victims, or narcissists? Jung believed that our external relationships reflect our internal state. If you notice a pattern in your interactions, it's not just bad luck. Something within you is unconsciously drawing these people into your life. He identified 3 key reasons. Unresolved emotional wounds. If you have past emotional wounds, you might unknowingly seek out people who trigger the same pain, hoping to resolve it this time. For example, if you lacked warmth and affection as a child, you might unconsciously be drawn to emotionally unavailable people, trying to fix what was once broken. A need to please and weak boundaries. If you constantly try to please everyone and struggle to say no, you send out a silent message. Feel free to drain my energy. I won't resist. Lack of self-awareness. If you don't understand your own patterns and emotional weak spots, you become more vulnerable to relationships that deplete your energy. The psychology of energy drainage. Jung also identified 3 psychological mechanisms behind energy depletion. Projection. When people refuse to acknowledge their own flaws, they project them onto others, making those around them feel responsible for their insecurities. Example: an incompetent coworker who constantly criticizes your work, attempting to shift focus from their own weaknesses onto you. Emotional contagion. Feelings spread like viruses. If someone is filled with anxiety, anger, or fear, they unconsciously transmit these emotions to others. Neuroscientific research shows that our brain's mirror neurons copy the emotions of those around us, making us feel drained just by being in their presence. The shadow self. Jung's concept of the shadow refers to the parts of our personality that we suppress or deny. Example: if you see yourself as a kind person, your shadow self might be your suppressed, aggressive, or selfish side. People who don't acknowledge their shadow often project it onto others, causing emotional drain. How to protect yourself from energy vampires. Before we wrap up, let's talk about solutions. How can you shield yourself from energy drainers? Set strong boundaries. Learn to say no. Try phrases like, "I can't take on this responsibility right now." "I need time to think before making a decision." "This doesn't work for me." These sentences help protect your energy and prevent unwanted obligations. Recognize projections. Be aware that not all emotions you experience in interactions are yours. Some may be projections from others. Prioritize balanced relationships. Seek out mutual supportive connections where energy exchange feels equal. Avoid psychological games. Be cautious when you sense manipulation. If someone pulls you into a cycle of guilt, obligation, or victimhood, step out of the loop consciously. So, what do you think? Have you ever encountered an energy vampire? Or, on the flip side, have you ever unconsciously drained someone else's energy? Let me know in the comments.